monster are you? The Wolverine.
Well, Hugh Jackman is back in his 6th outing as the iconic character Wolverine, also known as Logan. This time, it's really good news for Hugh Jackman fans and for Wolverine fans, especially after the last solo outing that this series had. This one isn't, though. They're smart enough with this Wolverine to make it just a standalone adventure. And so we get all of this stuff out of the way right in the beginning, and we are whisked off to Japan. This time, Wolverine is taken to Japan to meet up with somebody he knew from earlier in his life. As you know, he's like at least 100 years old, and he was at Nagasaki in Japan when they dropped an H-bomb there, and he saved one Japanese man from certain death.
My employer wants to say thank you for saving his life all those years ago.
Run now!
This is a return to this kind of relationship that he had many years later now. He gets hooked up with a lot of Yakuza and samurai. There's lots of battles. There's an amazing chase fight sequence done on top of a bullet train. I thought this movie really worked because it's a little more internal. It's a little more cerebral. We get to see the angst that Wolverine is feeling. It's a much more three-dimensional portrait of this character. And in fact, it's the most vulnerable we've ever seen this character before, because there is actually a way that he could potentially die. And that's never happened before. We always knew Wolverine couldn't die. He could always regenerate himself.
I can end your eternity, make you mortal.
Well, in this case, things happen. I won't give away the whole thing, but we are on the edge of our seats wondering what's going to happen to poor Wolverine here. At any rate, Hugh Jackman has never been better in this role. I don't think he's ever been better, period. This is really a great movie star role. It's a very strong portrayal, but also three-dimensional, like I said. I think it's a great role for him. I do want to give a shout out also to 2 Japanese actresses who really add a lot to this. Tao Okamoto and Rila Fukushima. They're both terrific in this movie, as is the whole supporting cast, which is mainly Japanese. At any rate, it's a fun summer movie. It's actually better and it's more believable than most of these big budget blockbuster movies we've been seeing lately. Unfortunately, the last third of it drifts a little bit into the comic book origins of the X-Men series. So there's a big robot and there's this sort of thing going on, which I could have done without. But, you know, hey, it's a comic book movie. We got to have that element. But overall, this movie is really entertaining. And I have to warn you, stay through the credits. You will not want to miss a sequence that happens after the credits begin. It's a return to some old friends you may know from a past movie. So don't miss that. That's a warning from your friend Pete here. Otherwise, I'm just going to say, go.